Is Vanguard the absolute worst Call of Duty of all time? That's something I want you guys to answer down in the comment section of this video. We are currently less than 1 month away from the release of Modern Warfare 2, and this game is hands down one of the most controversial and hated Call of Duty games of all time. Now, do I think it deserves this hate? Partially, but honestly, I think the developers are #1 to blame on why Vanguard is perceived the way it is. The gameplay is good, but in all reality, the developers gave up on this Call of Duty title, and it's a damn shame. Let's go ahead and take a look at what went wrong with Vanguard and why people despise it so much. So with all being said, the like on this video is going to be 400 likes, and if you guys do enjoy the content on the channel, or if you guys disagree with the statement I'm about to make sure you guys, hash it out down in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and turn those post notifications. Let's go ahead and discuss Vanguard. Now, #1, we're going to be talking about the setting. Is World War II, the era as a whole, a terrible place for a Call of Duty game? Now, personally, I don't mind the World War II era, but I think Vanguard went about it the wrong way. There's a number of things that the developers behind the scenes at Sledgehammer Games just simply went ahead and messed up on. And honestly, there's some things that I don't know how they got past the drawing board. Let's go ahead and take a look at the past 3 Call of Duties we've had. Modern Warfare 2019, set in the modern setting. A lot of players, including myself, enjoyed this game because #1, it was modern and they kept it up to date as far as patches, weapon balancing, and all the things that we can experience in game. You can go ahead and experience it in real life if you guys wanted to. Now, next we had Cold War, which is set in the Cold War era, Vietnam, an older Call of Duty era, but at the same time, it's not dinosaur, Stone Age old as World War II. Not that many people are history buffs. History is probably one of those subjects in school that people were not really enjoying. So when they went ahead and bought Cold War out, I understand why some people did not like the game, but for me personally, I enjoyed Cold War multiplayer as well as the Cold War aspects they integrated into Warzone. The developers, Treyarch, went ahead and made sure to keep the game up to date with weapon balances, patches, updates. So people were actually, intrigued to get on. There was actually a reason to grind out the game. So that's why Cold War, in my personal opinion, was actually a pretty good success. Now, we have Vanguard, Sledgehammer Games, Sledgehammer Games, in a World War II setting. World War II, I feel like people just don't respect it because it's just far too old. And on top of that, we went back in time, not 1, not 2, but 3 Call of Duties in a row. 3 consecutive years, we digressed. How that got through, how that got approved, I'm still wondering that to this day. But hey, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Do you guys honestly believe that the era, the setting that Vanguard was placed in, had anything to do with this game being hated? Like I said, hash it out down in the comment section. Now, we're also going to be talking about updates and weapon balancing. I talk about this every time I have an open discussion about Call of Duty Vanguard. This game, the developers at Sledgehammer Games completely, and I mean completely, dropped the ball this year. I think I speak for everybody. The developers just gave up, and it was apparent. They didn't even try to hide it this year. They just straight gave up, threw in the towel, and just started trickling down content, which we're going to start talking about in this video as well. But weapon balancing, updates, they just didn't happen. We had 0, and I mean 0 weapon balance the entire year. The meta from day 1 that this game was released is the same exact meta that we have right now. And for a first-person shooter, for a Call of Duty, that is absolutely unacceptable. We have never had a Call of Duty in history where that has happened up until Vanguard, and this is considered a AAA title. That's an absolute embarrassment, and the team at Sledgehammer Games should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously, they literally released a game and just said, hey, we're not going to do anything else for the entire year. That's insane when you think about it. A first-person shooter game that they are selling DLC in, that they have a scheduled content release period. They don't even take the time to go ahead and iron out issues. They don't even take the time to go ahead and iron out weapon balance, which is fundamental in a game where you have challenges based on every single weapon in each category. They refused to make some weapons up to speed with the meta that was currently in the game from when it first launched. Seriously, the automaton and the MP40 never got balanced properly here in Vanguard, and that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cold War, as well as Modern Warfare, had monthly, bi-weekly weapon balance updates to make sure that the gene pool in every single multiplayer lobby was different, making sure that players could go ahead and use other weapons in game. That just didn't happen here in Vanguard. If you were not running the automaton or the MP40, or at this case, a pay-to-win DLC weapon, you were seriously outclassed and outnumbered, because every single player, because of skill-based matchmaking, was going to be using one of those two weapons or some type of DLC weapon in game, and that is a fact. Everybody can go ahead and back me on that, because there seriously was no weapon balance in this game. Let me know down in the comment section right now, how many games here in Vanguard have you played that there wasn't at least 3 people on each team running an automaton or an MP40? You can't do it. Whenever you saw somebody, quote unquote, sweating in game, someone try-harding in game, I don't like even to use that term, but you guys know what I mean. They were always using the automaton or the MP40. Now, obviously, there's going to be guns that are going to be at the top of the class in each Call of Duty game, but Vanguard was on another level, making it so you literally had to use 1 or 2 guns or a DLC weapon, pay to win, and it's just unbelievable. Again, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. I'm laughing about it now because this game's pretty much over and the life cycle is done. We're getting ready for Modern Warfare 2, but it's just hilarious to me that they couldn't even do the simple courtesy of going ahead and making sure that the health, the quality of life of this multiplayer game was actually maintained throughout its entire life cycle. I don't know any Call of Duty that's been released before Vanguard that the development team just completely just packed up and just dipped and just completely stopped going ahead and, you know, upkeeping their game. It's a goddamn shame, and every single person at Sledgehammer Games should be ashamed of themselves. Now, this kind of ties into the weapon balance update, and that's going to be the lack of communication. Now, here's where things just fall apart and where I just find things hilarious. Remember back in Season 2 of Vanguard, if you even made it to Season 2 of Vanguard, I know a lot of people just completely stopped playing this game after the first 60 days, which honestly, I completely understand. But in Season 2, there was a period where the season was legitimately like doubled in length because they were getting ready to completely scrap Season 6, which they ultimately did. And we still are missing a lot of content in game, which is unbelievable. I mean, you think about this for a second, fellas. We seriously got robbed this year. We paid for six seasons of DLC content, and we only got 5. We only got 5 when we paid 6. We paid for the battle pass, and we only got 5 seasons of content. That's unbelievable to me. You know, thinking about it now, we could probably go after Activision for that, because we paid for 6 seasons of content and we're only getting 5. And they didn't even have the common courtesy to explain, hey guys, you know what? We're not going to go ahead and release a Season 6. We're going to stop it at 5, but we're going to go ahead and include all the content that we had in Season 6 and Season 5, which they didn't even do. So it's crazy to me, man. Like the things, the decision making, just the failure at the studio, at Sledgehammer Games, at Activision too, is just mind-boggling this year, and I fully understand why people are just upset, including myself, with how Vanguard was just kept up. Now, kind of, tagging on to the lack of communication, the trickle-down content, which we're getting right now. I mean, we're at the end of Season 5. We're at the Season 5 Reloaded update, which we were promised a new AR, an LMG, a map, and honestly, we still should be promised another DLC weapon. Actually, 3 more DLC weapons, another map, which we're not getting, but we still haven't gotten the new LMG, as well as, oh my god, it's insane. Like, I don't know what's going on. This trickle down content needs to stop. Now, this is what honestly I feel pissed people off about Vanguard, because tying back to Season 2, when they went ahead and delayed everything by almost 2 months, they seriously just held off on content and just waited to bring it in. And they're doing the same thing right now. They're holding off on bringing in the Liana 57 until probably 2 weeks before Modern Warfare 2 releases, to go ahead and just get as many people to stay on this game as possible, to go ahead and get this weapon unlocked, and just to wait for it and to experience it, which is unbelievable, man, because at this time they're just holding us by the throat for absolutely no reason. I mean, again, we're still owed another season of content that we're not even going to have during this game's effective life cycle. Oh my goodness. This year was something else. For us multiplayer guys, there's absolutely no way we could have predicted that Sledgehammer and Activision were just going to go ahead and just pack up ship and just turn a blind eye to us, man. But I will say this, it's going to have the bar set mighty high for Infinity Ward to go ahead and upkeep Modern Warfare 2 and make sure that us as players, are at least satisfied and kept in the loop, because that's what they failed to do this year. They just didn't keep us in the loop. It's okay if things don't work out. It's okay if you fail, but you have to go ahead and let people know and just give people an understanding on what's going on so they can work with you, instead of just going ahead and giving them, a cold shoulder, which Sledgehammer Games and Activision just went ahead and did this time around. So hopefully we don't experience this during Modern Warfare 2. So far, they are attempting to listen to the community, but at the same time, when the game does release, that is what's going to be most important, and obviously within the first 30 to 60 days after launch, because that is crucial, because that's when Sledgehammer just kind of showed everybody that, hey, we're not really about it this year. We've seen that people are not really interested in a World War II Call of Duty, so we're going to go ahead and just pack up ship and leave, which honestly is crazy that the development team really did that. Man, dude, my trust in Sledgehammer Game it's on the absolute ground. It's just almost not there anymore. So, yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Do you guys think Vanguard is the absolute worst Call of Duty of all time? So far, Sledgehammer Games is 3 for 3 for me, man. Advanced Warfare wasn't that good. World War II wasn't that good. Vanguard, I mean, the gameplay was fun, but at the same time, just the lack of communication and then just the sheer disrespect of the community really went ahead and I think gave it the title of the worst Call of Duty of all time, even if it technically isn't the worst playing Call of Duty of all time. Hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and those post notifications, man. Catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.